Good morning and welcoming yourself into our morning and yoga practice, where you'll be guided. Be aware and be curious to notice how it is to experience being in your own body. So you might check in here as we lie down, either in corpse pose, shavasana, or perhaps you might bend your knees in constructive rest. Arriving to notice how are you feeling today, physically, mentally, emotionally, your energy levels. And as you arrive, noticing the contact of body to ground, feel free to shuffle any areas to get a bit more comfortable. As we arrive, noticing, as we breathe in that expansive breath, that belly, at chest, and all the way out, dropping the shoulders, softening belly, chest. It feels okay, inviting yourself to breathe in and out a little deeper, a little slower. Nice. As we arrive, noticing hands, feet. Bring our awareness towards the legs, back, shoulders and head, and maybe you start to either wiggle fingers or toes or gently rocking the head side to side. In your own time, feel free to start to stretch the arms, the legs, taking either a long stretch or maybe you'd like to stretch out wide. It's more of a starfish. Then we're going to go ahead to hug the knees in towards the chest. Perhaps it might feel nice to stay still, holding the knees in. Maybe it feels nice to gently rock the hips or rock the knees side to side, rolling on the hips. Start to notice the lower back region. Nice, and then from there, you might start to circle the knees around. It could be one direction, that could be two opposing directions. And then extending those legs up into the air. Feel free to keep the knees soft and bent. As we point and as we flex the feet, noticing how that movement within your feet is changing, perhaps the sensations that you feel in the back of the legs, front of the legs. Time to wake the feet and legs up, and you might scrunch your toes as you point the toes up to the ceiling, and then as you pull the toes towards you, spreading the toes out. Nice. From there, we'll place those feet down, mat width, arms to stretch out, palms to face up. Coming into our windscreen wipers as we inhale at the center. Exhale, let's sway the knees over to the right side, and perhaps it might feel nice to look to the left. Inhale, knees back to center, head to center. Exhale, knees sway to left. And again, you might choose to look to the right. You're going to keep going within your own pace of breath. Inhale, center, exhale over to the side. As you notice, taking that movement, moving mindfully in your own body. How are those sensations landing in your body? Does it feel through the hips? Maybe there's space to go a bit slower. Slowing the breath down. we're going to take about 2 more or 3 more breaths. Just make sure that you're even on both sides. When you feel even on both sides, starting to shuffle the feet together. Knees together, feet together. This time, let's bring the palms to face down so the arms are still in line with your shoulders into a T shape. Peeling the feet off the floor so the heels on the ground, toes to point up. Inhale at the center. Exhale, let's sway the knees over to the right. Let's try to keep the knees together. So the left foot's coming off the floor. Don't worry if the knees don't touch the ground. Inhale, roll back through center. Rolling on the back of the heels as we then roll over to the left. The right foot comes off the ground. And you're going to keep going within your own pace of breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, sending the knees over to the right. As you go at your own pace, exploring the intensity of that. So as you take the knees over to the side, you actively press those knees together and then over to the side. Maybe feeling that stretch a bit deep into your lower back. Nice, exploring that for about 2 or 3 more breaths. Nice, taking your time. When you're ready, coming back through to the center, feel free to hug the knees in, gently rock side to side. Feel free to hug the knees in and just hold there. Maybe noticing how your lower back might feel. And when you're ready, I'm going to place those feet down now, hip width. Setting ourselves up for bridge pose, so feet about hip width, arms alongside the body, palms facing down. On your inhale, pressing through the feet, lifting the hips. Just make sure the head is in neutral. Lifting the hips, peeling the spine up off the ground, maybe gently firming those shoulder blades into the floor. Keep space between chin and chest. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly roll the back all the way down to the ground. And we're going to keep going in time with our own breath. So as you inhale, peeling the hips, spine off the ground. As you exhale, you might choose to slowly roll down, or you might choose to stay up in that bridge. So taking your time as you go within your own pace of breath. Your choice whether you want to keep it a continual flow or you want to rise up in that bridge, hold. And when you next exhale, you might roll down. Noticing what your body needs, exploring, being curious to move in your own body, noticing where your body needs that attention. And choice is also yours. If you want to, when you next raise up, you might also take the arms to reach up over the head. Maybe the hands might touch the ground, but think about reaching the fingertips away from your body. And when you roll down, you'll just bring the hands back down alongside the body. And then you reset again. We're going to go for about 2 more breaths, whichever option you've chosen. Nice, last breath. And if you're holding into that bridge on your next exhale, we're slowly guiding ourselves down. Nice. Once you've guided yourself down, Shuffling the feet together, perhaps maybe taking the feet a bit further away from your hips. Draw those knees out to the side. Feel free to wedge some blocks underneath your thighs if you need to. I want to stretch those arms up over the head, maybe into a Y shape, maybe into a diamond shape. Breathing there. Perhaps noticing how it might feel to be still after flowing with your breath. Noticing that breath flowing into belly and chest. And breathing all the way out. Nice. Taking your time. Let's go for 3 more breaths here. Expansive on the inhale. Breathing out, where could you soften and let go of? Where does it feel safe to let go of? Last breath in your own time. When you're ready, gently guiding the arms in. Perhaps you might use your hands to guide the legs in. Option if you like to come back into windscreen wipers, hug the knees in. Choice is yours, find what feels good for your body. And when you're ready, we're going to roll over to the right side and then guiding ourselves up to seated. Coming into a comfortable seat position, that could be legs crossed, that could be legs extended out. Taking your time, no rush. When we arrive, feel free to shrug the shoulders up. Feel free to draw the shoulders down, and you can do this with eyes open or closed, perhaps noticing that gradient of tension. And release. You might do that with breath, inhale. Squeezing the shoulders up, exhale. Releasing the shoulders. Nice, let's go for 2 more in your own pace. Nice, and as the shoulders release, let's tilt the head over to the right side, breathing in. Breathing out, rolling the head down and round. Head is going to tilt to the other side, and when the ear tilts with the shoulder, we breathe in. Breathing out, head rolls down and round. Head is tilting to the other side. Keep going in your own pace, noticing any sensations that you might be feeling there. Going slower in any areas that might feel a bit tender. Nice. And the next time, in your own time, the chin rolls down. I'm going to tuck the chin in as we round the back, drawing the belly button toward the spine. Already maybe feeling any stiffness, tightness in the shoulders and back after a night's sleep. You might choose to reach the arms forward, hands separate. Maybe interlace the hands or maybe pressing the palms forward. It might feel good to give it a little shimmy side to side, exploring any areas of tension through the back. Let's go for 1 more breath there. And your inhale. Let's reach the arms up. Exhale, take the arms out. Nice. Give it a good shake when you're ready. And then we're going to come into all fours to tabletop. In all fours, fingertips spread into the ground. We're going to tuck the toes under. As we tuck the toes under, inhale, we rock forward, spreading all 10 fingertips into the ground. Breathing, I want to sit back, attending to the toes and the feet. So it's up to you how intense you want to feel that. Pressing those hips back, feeling that stretch through the toes. Keep going within your own pace. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, sit back. And as you're exploring that movement, it's up to you. If you need to stay forward, attending to the wrist, you might gently rock around in a little circle. Maybe you're sitting back, attending to the feet. Go in your own pace, exploring the sensations that you feel within your body. Nice, I'm going to go for about 2 more breaths, no rush. And when you're ready, let's meet in all fours, and we're going to release the toes. You might give it a point and flex, so you might give it a nice little tap onto the ground, shaking it out. Nice. Tops of the feet onto the floor. Inhale, lift the tailbone. Shoulders plug down as we look forward. Breathing out, tucking the chin in toward the chest, rounding the back, drawing the belly button in. Exploring cow and cat pose within your own pace of breath. Again, noticing and exploring any areas that might feel needing a little bit more attention. If you need to give a little shuffle, feel free to do so. Nice, and the next time that you come into cat pose, we're going to sit those hips back, bringing those big toes together. Stretching the arms forward as you come into a child's pose. An option is to have the arms extended out. Option to bring the palms together into prayer, fingertips point to the ceiling or to the back of your neck. Or if you want to fold the arms, rest the head on top of the arms, feel free to do so. Find what version of child's pose is going to serve you right now. I'm going to be here for about 3 breaths. Breathing deep into belly, chest. And if we can, expanding that breath into the sides of the body and the back space of your body. On your next inhale, let's guide ourselves forward. If you need to take a round of cat-cow for some movement or a little shimmy side to side, feel free to do so. We're going to stay in all fours. And when you're ready, we're going to make our way into puppy pose. So walking those hands forward. Perhaps maybe aiming for hips to step on top of knees. Feel free to shift the hips back if that feels too intense. Arms walk forward, forehead rests down onto the ground. And as you press the palms, fingertips into the floor, inhale, you're lifting as you reach the tailbone back. Exhale, you might let that chest melt to the floor a bit more. Let's go for 3 breaths here. Nice, taking your time when you are ready. Pressing through the hands. Guide yourself up. Lower the forearms down and lower your hips to the floor. Making our way into Sphinx pose. Arms underneath the shoulders. Elbows underneath shoulders. If that feels too intense, you can walk the elbows forward. Pressing through the arms, lifting the chest. Think about pressing the arms outwardly as well, broadening the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. Taking your time, last breath there. On your next exhale, lowering down, hands beside the chest. Option to come into child's pose, cat-cow, what we've already visited. Or you might extend those hips up into your first downward dog, pedaling the feet. Just taking your time to explore what you need. Cat-cow, child's pose, a downward dog. Last 2 breaths there. If you're in downward dog, you might rock forward into a plank. If you're child's pose, start to guide yourself up into all fours. From there, we're going to lean forward as we guide ourselves back to the ground, onto our belly. Coming back into Sphinx pose. Elbows on your shoulders, palms to press down into the mat, lifting the chest forward, shoulders plug down the back, feet about hip width. And as we breathe there, returning back to this pose, just noticing anything different. A change of temperature in your body, change of breath, space in your body. Nice, and last breath there. On your next exhale, let's lower all the way down, coming into crocodile pose. Feel free to shuffle the hips, take those elbows out wide, noticing how it feels to lie flat onto your front. On your next inhale, we're going to bend the right knee, taking it out to the side. So I'll just do my left so you can see. I'm going to bend the knee, taking it out to the side. It's up to you how high you want to take that knee. So the knee bends, taking it out to the side. And you might choose to look to the same side where your knee is. You might look to the opposite side. You might have your head facing downwards. Breathing there. And choice is also yours if you want to extend that leg out, if that adds to that pose, if it doesn't, keeping that knee bent. Last breath there. You straighten the leg, starting to bend the knee. Starting to guide that leg back in. Feel free to give your hips a little shuffle before you move over to the other side. So now, left knee bends. Knee draws out to the side. Choice is yours where you'd like to place your head. And noticing there how maybe one side may feel different to the other. Maybe you'd like to straighten that leg. Last breath there. And in your own time, Gently bending the knee, guiding the knee back in. Before to give it a little shuffle of the hips. Option to stay in crocodile pose, lying on your front. Option if you'd like to transition into child's pose. Feel free to meet me there, big toes together, knees can be together, hip width wider. Option to extend the arms, bend the arms, bring the hands in prayer, or arms alongside the body. Choice is yours. And those maybe in crocodile pose, you might start to gently guide yourself into a child's pose where we're all going to meet there. No rush. On your next inhale, we'll start to place the hands beside the knees, keeping the head bowed down and heavy. Next time as you breathe in, start to slowly roll up, keeping the head down if it feels okay. Head is going to be the last thing to roll up. Nice. Whenever you arrive, feel free to give it a little shrug of the shoulders, a little shake. Taking your time to meet me in a seated position with the legs extended out. Nice. From there, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Feel free to just give the bum a little wriggle, so the tailbone pointing backwards. Nice. So first we're going to take a bit more of an active approach as we inhale, think about lifting from the pelvic floor. If you need to wedge yourself and sit on a block, feel free to do so as well. Lengthening the spine, shoulders plug down. Breathing out, we're going to fold through the hips, drawing chest towards the feet, or maybe gently drawing the knees out with your elbows. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Again, maybe just tilting slightly forward, chest towards the feet. So don't forget that lengthening, lifting from pelvic floor, crown of the head, reaching up. That's it. Breathing to fold. Let's go for one more breath there. Nice. And then on the end of that exhale, just let your back round, let the head go heavy, let the arms relax. That's it. Let yourself kind of slouch into that more of a yin approach. If it feels nice, you might gently shake the head side to side. Inhale when you're ready. Slowly rolling up again, the head to be the last thing to rise up. You might choose to bring the hands behind you, fingertips point out, lifting the chest, staying there, or you might choose to take the feet out, mat width, and coming into windscreen wipers, but sat up. Doesn't matter if the knees don't touch the ground. Up to you whether you'd like to be more still or moving. Nice. From there, let's meet. Knees bent, feet about hip width. It's up to you how high or how close you want to bring the feet in. We're going to bring the arms underneath. Again, we're going to approach that a bit more actively, so you're either interlacing the hands, maybe clasping the hands or latching the hands, or you might hold the wrists. You're going to let yourself actively kind of slouch, leaning back as you let the head drop forward. The arms, shoulders relax. Really feeling that through your back, shoulders, neck, head. Gently pulling back. Last breath there. Nice. And then inhale to lift the chest, release the arms, maybe you stretch the arms out. And then exhale, fold, and really let yourself hang heavy there. Torso onto thighs. If you want to shuffle your feet further out, you can as well. Arms relaxed. Head to hang heavy. Breathing in. Breathing all the way out. Last 2 breaths there. And gently, in your own pace. The next time that you inhale, very, very slowly roll up. Again, if you can, head comes up last. Maybe it might feel nicer to stay a moment sat up. Maybe you want to slowly roll your spine to the ground, keeping the knees bent. And just noticing how it feels to unravel, flattening your back to the ground. Maybe you stretch the arms out, palms to face up. Notice the sensations that are arising in your back. You can choose to be still. You might choose to gently rock the head side to side. You might choose to shuffle the feet out, mat width, knees together. Maybe if you want to take movement, you might come into windscreen wipers. Or you might meet me in Shavasana, corpse pose. Taking your time to come back to where we started. Palms to face up. Feet to relax out to the side. Perhaps if you've got the legs extended out in Shavasana. Notice anywhere that you would like to shuffle to get more comfortable. And I'm going to come up to seated as I guide you through our meditation. Noticing full circle back where we started. Anything new in your body? What has maybe changed? As we arrive, lying back on the ground, noticing points of contact on the floor, noticing your breath flowing in, flowing out. And with that breath flowing in, taking in what you need. And as the breath is flowing out, releasing what no longer serves you, releasing attention through the body. Inviting those breaths to be maybe a little slower and deeper. Giving yourself time to take in what you need. Release of what you no longer serves you. And with that same breath, I'm going to invite you to join me in a body scan, releasing parts of our body one at a time. If you need to tense, release, move them, release. Maybe you keep still and relax those areas. The intention is to bring our awareness to those parts in our body. And when you breathe out, you might invite your body to relax a bit more. And we're going to start with going head down to toes this time. So noticing your head, you might gently rock your head side to side. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the back of the head. When you next breathe out, softening the jaw, the eyebrows, eyeballs, eyelids, space in between. Noticing your shoulders. Maybe give them a shuffle. And the next time that you breathe out, surrendering shoulders to the ground, releasing of arms to the fingertips. Noticing the spine from shoulders down to the mid to the back. Softening belly, chest as you breathe out, letting go of the hips. Releasing through the legs. Maybe you tense and release them. Maybe give your hips a little shuffle. When you breathe out, letting the legs go heavy, releasing the feet, toes. And on your next breath out, the invitation to let go of your entire body, surrendering and being. For the next minute, I'm going to invite you to perhaps stay with that breath just as much as you can. It's okay if you wander off. Watching the breath flow in and out. If you need that feedback, you can rest hands onto belly, onto chest. Just reflecting on how that may have been easy, difficult, distracting, focused. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in, guiding yourself back into your day. And maybe starting to wriggle fingers and wriggle toes. Inviting movement to your body, maybe gently rocking the head side to side. Feel free to take a full body stretch, stretching arms and legs. Guiding yourself back. As you hug your knees into the chest, give yourself a big squeeze and hug. Thanking yourself for dedicating this time to practice. Then you might choose to roll over to the right or rock back and forth. As we come all the way up to seated, palms together. Arriving back into our day. As we close our practice, inhale, let's circle the arms up over the head, palms meet at the top. Exhale, hands down through center. Namaste.